Yo, what's up, guys? What's up, guys? 3, 2, 1. What up, guys? What up, guys? How are you guys? It's Tuesday once again. So let me lower the volume here. How are you guys? How's everything going today? Hold on, the music wants to keep playing. 1 sec. Sorry, guys. Anyways, how are you guys? Thank you guys for tuning in. It's Tuesday, like I said. It's very warm Tuesday. You know, it was very nice today, but unfortunately, like we know, since we live in Canada, it's not gonna always go as planned. You know, tomorrow we have a thunderstorm. I think it's a high. What's it called again? I don't know what it's called, but it's snow. It's freezing rain. It's high impact winter storm. So if you have not bought salt for the ice, make sure you buy it. Sorry, I'm just nervous. Like always, things have to go wrong just before the show. But yeah, if you can, just please go get some salt, because it's going to be pretty bad tomorrow. I think it's starting to snow around, I think, 1 or 2 in the morning. So just be mindful. If you can put some salt and everything, go for it, because we don't want to get hurt. And we want to make sure we have a walkway to get to the cars tomorrow when we go back to work, which hopefully we don't. But anyways, I don't want to talk too much. Once again, thank you guys for being here. This is episode 2, season 2. And I have a lovely friend of mine that I've known probably our whole life. You know, we've known each other since we were little kids and we grew up and stuff. And I'm excited to have her here. But before we obviously continue with the show, I just want to say again, thank you to everyone that's tuning in that has not been on the show or watched the show yet. This is a podcast that I started about, I think it was 2.5 years ago, or a year and a half ago. And I just decided to throw myself in there and try something new. I've never been a fan of being in front of a camera and stuff. I've always been behind the scenes, but something told me to go for it, and it's something that I just wish I did it sooner. You know, it's allowed me to open up a lot more, speak, and as a guy, you know, it's not normal for us to speak sometimes because it's, you know, the way we're raised or just the environment or the society in that time, you know. But I decided to go with it, and I started, and this is my 2nd season. So once again, if it's the first time you're here, thank you for tuning in. I hope you could stay and watch every single episode and just be part of this journey. And again, thank you for tuning in. Everyone in the chat, what's up, everybody? Hold on. People are saying they can't hear. You guys can't hear? Let me know. Hey, Tati, you guys can hear me, right? I think so. Maybe, yeah, you got to raise the volume, I think. I'm not sure. But anyways, thank you guys again for tuning in if it's the first time. But without further ado, I want to invite both of them on the same camera. So I want to invite my co-host, Mr. Mario Funes, and my lovely friend that I've known again for many, many years. Ladies and gentlemen, Shayla Renteria. What's up, guys?
Hello.
How's it going, Jona? How's it going?
Good. What are you guys up to? How was the drive? How was everything? You know, how's life?
Drive was insane. I naturally get anxiety while I drive, so being behind a wheel for an hour is is a little bit stressful, but I got here safely, thank God, and dale, we're here.
Nice. Mario, what about you?
I actually don't like driving. I would rather be passenger princess, to be honest.
Why?
I don't know. I'd rather take a nap or listen to music or just daydream. You know, I actually don't like being behind the wheel. I get a little sleepy.
That's me, yeah. When there's traffic, that's when, yeah, oh man, I can't. Like, and even when I'm not driving and I'm the passenger, sometimes I can't sleep because if I don't trust the driver, I'm going to keep waking up because, you know, and it happened yesterday. Yeah, it happened. No, not yesterday. I think last week my buddy was driving and I was falling asleep, but the way he would turn the steering wheel, I'm like, what the hell's happening? You know, so it's, anyways, I'm talking too much. I'm nervous.
In my throat already, and I'm not even behind the wheel.
Oh yeah, trust me, you know. And sorry, I'm adding to it, right? But what I was going to say to you guys is, again, thank you guys for being here. You know,
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you to Oi Latinos, is much appreciated.
Awesome. So just to start right away, like I do in all the other episodes. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. They're in the chat. Thank you for saying hi. I'm going to do a little bit of an icebreaker. I'm going to ask a bunch of questions, and you have to respond as quick as possible.
Okay.
All right. You ready to go?
I don't have a choice, dale.
Okay, ready. Have you ever won a bet?
No?
Do you have a bucket list?
Of course.
Can you freestyle rap?
No.
Do you think you make a good spy?
Yes.
Okay, summer or winter?
Summer.
Expensive present or homemade presents?
Ooh, homemade.
Okay, do you kill bugs inside or take them outside?
Ooh,
Be careful.
Depends on the bug.
Okay.
I'm a tree hugger. We could probably get into that a little bit later.
Peter's gonna come for you if you say answer wrong.
Okay, Mario, let me ask you some questions quickly. Are you more cautious or bold?
More cautious.
Fresh food or fried food?
Fried food.
Okay, would you rather travel to the past or to the future?
Travel to the past.
Okay, awesome. You guys both passed. Congratulations. How do
Yeah,
you
thank
feel?
you.
Did it
A
help?
plus.
Did it help? No? Are you still nervous?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay, good. Because I'm still
Doesn't-
nervous.
Can't see.
You can't see? Oh, that's why you're giving me those signs?
Yeah.
Sorry, brother.
He's trying to
Interrupt
say
me.
he loves you.
No, I thought he was. I thought he was like.
There you
yeah.
go.
I thought he was going like this, like looking at me, and I'm like, what?
Watching you.
What's happening here? Like, not right now. Like, come on. You have a guest here.
Valentine's Day just passed, so it was.
We're still on camera.
Anyways, guys, please don't mind us. We're just three friends that are just trying to do a podcast and talk about life and everything in between. But anyways, Shayla, if you don't mind,
Yes.
just let the viewers know, where you're from,
Yep.
where you were, what area you grew up in, just little things about you
Yeah.
and all that good stuff, and then we can get the show on the road.
Okay, perfect. So hi for everybody who don't know me or doesn't know me. My name is Shayla Renteria. I am a licensed paralegal here in Ontario. From my early years, I remember growing up a little bit in Maple. Then from Maple, we went to Jane and Finch. And then from Jane and Finch, we went to like the Yorkdale area. And then I branched off on my own as an adult and moved in with my now significant other. We hopped around from Milton to Oakville and now to Mississauga. So I've been all around the GTA.
Mhm.
I'm a mom to a beautiful little girl, which is she's watching. Hola, mamita. To my dog as well, my little boy Lulo. And yeah, that's pretty much me in like a little bit of a nutshell. And you guys are gonna get to know me a little bit more through this podcast, and we'll touch base on a little bit of all that.
That's awesome. So let me just switch this quickly. Awesome. I'm gonna ask you the first question. What is
Yeah.
your favorite dish to eat at any time? It doesn't matter what time. If it's 2, 3 in the morning, what's your favorite dish?
Ceviche.
Which kind?
Oh, it doesn't matter. I like the ceviche peruano from like
Okay.
with the pescado. I think that's like
Okay.
our go-to in our household.
All right.
Mixto, ceviche de camarón. I actually
Tutti?
make a really good ceviche de
Tutti,
camarón.
you're doing a good job, brother. You're
It's
converting
teaching
her
me
to-
well.
you
No,
know.
okay.
I still haven't tried it, so Tutti, I'm not gonna give you a full 10 out of 10 until I try it.
I think you have to get a line. There's quite a bit of people waiting for
no,
Peruvian food.
no. Tell him if I don't have ceviche, he's not coming on the show. Simple. I'm kidding.
He'll wait till season 2's done.
Yeah. No, by the way, you're coming on the show. I want everyone to hear that voice. He sings like a. Anyways, okay. So ceviche. What about you, Mario?
I'll be honest with you, and this might be a crime to some people, but I've never had a ceviche in my life.
Neither of them.
No.
Wow.
No, and I have I don't know, maybe it's just a misconception, but is ceviche usually made with raw fish?
No, not necessarily. I think it depends on how you make it. I know the Peruanos usually make it with a little bit of a raw fish. I know the Ecuadorian side, you could either boil the fish before you mix it, or you can just let it cook
Right.
in the lemon. Depends on how you make it. But no, it's not necessarily always with like raw fish,
Yeah,
unless
see,
there's anybody else out there. But
that's like basically the perception that I have of ceviche is that,
it's raw
which is
fish.
why I stay away from it.
Do you not eat sushi then?
No.
Ooh.
No. If I do eat sushi, it's the fake crab meat.
The California
Yes.
rolls.
Yes,
yeah.
I can eat a lot of that, but regular sushi, no,
No.
not at all.
I think he likes the ceviche. Ceviche is good. Ceviche de camarón is obviously cooked.
Mm.
Yeah.
Hopefully somebody in the chat can recommend one,
Ooh.
right? Something with some cooked fish.
when I
That
make
sounds-
my mom taught me how to make the ceviche de camarón. I think I'm getting there.
You think?
I
Yeah.
think I'm
It's a
getting there.
process though, and
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's
yeah,
so
yeah,
like
yeah.
I think just in our culture to begin with, a lot of our food is like an entire day process,
Mhm.
and it's like gone in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, no.
That's why it's
You know what's funny? During Labor Day weekend, I went with my friend. We went to the grocery store, bought everything you need to make ceviche. We went to Muskoka to a friend's place, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to have ceviche for the first time. Everybody else got really intoxicated, and they didn't end up making it. So I missed out on that. So
That's the best cure though. A
Yeah,
ceviche is a good cure.
no, they
like-
just didn't end up making it. We ended up making hot dogs.
No, too much work.
That's fun. Anyways, Shayla, let's. Sorry, I'm
Yes.
just trying to adjust some camera angles
No,
here.
it's fine. I'm looking at the chat here.
There you
so-
go. Anyways, okay, so yeah, ceviche. Yeah, ceviche is definitely my favorite.
Yeah.
When I did the fast, which I think I mentioned it during Nico's episode,
Mhm.
she made the ceviche for Christmas Day, and man, I wanted to eat it so bad. And I remember I came upstairs, everybody was eating. Right when I opened the door, Mom's like, "I'm sorry, I didn't tell you because you're fasting." And I'm like, "It's okay." So I sit down. Everyone's eating. There's I think it was hornado. There's ceviche. There's
Yeah.
sopa de queso, which is for Ecuadorians. That's my kryptonite. And
What's in that?
So
Sopa de queso.
it's
Queso.
queso, a lot of queso, potato, cut onions. What do you call it? Potato. Sorry, potato. I already said that. Just a bunch of cheese.
So it's like
man.
a puree almost?
Similar, yeah, but just not as thick as a común puré,
Okay, okay.
right? So it's like a light soup, but there's milk in there, and it's.
I don't even think I've had that, to be honest.
I still haven't tried learning how to cook that, but I'll invite you guys. Sorry, we're having a moment here.
I am
Hungry
Ecuadorian,
man.
by the way. I don't think I said that, but like my background is Ecuadorian.
Okay.
But like I don't think I've ever had that.
No?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Sopa de queso?
you have to figure that one out.
One thing I find very strange, and not hating out here, I've never tried it, but Colombians, they put cheese in their coffee.
Yes, it adds a little
coffee?
bit of like, it mellows out the bitterness. Yeah, I've
In
heard
coffee
that.
or hot chocolate? Because I've heard of
Oh
hot
yeah,
chocolate.
I think it's hot chocolate. Yeah.
I've tried that
I
before.
I personally find that a little strange, but hey, I'm not gonna knock it until I try it. But it just seems a little strange.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
Cheese and hot
Well,
chocolate.
think about it. Sweetness and then the salt. It's beautiful.
Maybe,
Oh,
yeah.
I love cheese and I love hot chocolate. So it's beautiful. But
That's your kryptonite now.
yeah, I have many kryptonites. But anyways, I'm talking too much. Going back to the show, what's one thing you would tell yourself, your 10-year-old self today? I'm going to go straight to interesting questions. So once again, let me ask you once again, what's one thing you would tell your 10-year-old self today?
Don't sweat it. You've got it.
Look at me, look at the camera, talk to yourself.
Things will work out. What do you mean? Yeah. No, just don't sweat it. I feel like obviously a 10-year-old me, I was going through a lot. I was struggling a lot as well. Just, the background and adjusting to the community. That I feel like I was in my head just on my own personal experiences, and I was always just stressing about the future.
Mhm.
But yeah, just don't stress about it. Don't live even now, right? Like live day by day and just know that things are in God's hands, and the more you keep praying, your prayers are going to get answered. It may not be tomorrow, and it may not be a year from now, but down the road, eventually, you're going to look back and say, wow, my prayers are generally answered.
Yeah. Amen. Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Do you have any siblings?
I do,
Are you the
actually.
oldest?
No, I'm the youngest that I know
Oh,
of.
okay.
No, so I have a half sister, who's 10 years older, and then I have a half brother who is just under 3 years older, and then I have a brother who's 3 years older, and then there's me. And then if my biological father had other kids that I don't know of, I don't know. That's his prerogative.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the reason why I asked that was because, a lot of kids in, at least that we know of in the Latin community, right? Growing up, especially like that you mentioned that things were tough, when you were 10 years old. And a lot of kids in our community, we had to be translators.
Yeah.
We had to read legal documents and stuff like that as kids, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, even if you weren't the eldest, were you ever in that situation where you had to do that for your parents?
No, so I just grew up with my mom. My mom was a single mom, and it was just her, my brother, and myself, and then our immediate family. But no, like my mom, I'm a second generation Canadian, so my mom was actually that person
Gotcha.
for my grandparents. I was lucky enough to just have to focus on school, focus on me, and go from there.
Okay, cool. Honestly, that's very fortunate because, I mean, just hearing stories from my own sister, it's like having to be that kid, for my mom, like it's tough. And it's certain things that we don't realize, that some of our siblings that have that little bit of PTSD, or if you are that sibling or that person that had to do that. So shout out to all of you that had to be the translators and stuff.
First generation, or just immigrants in itself, right? 'Cause I
Yeah.
feel like there's a lot of us as well still within our age
Mhm.
group that are still immigrating here to Canada, and they are those the grandparents or the first parents that are coming in that still need that translation.
Yep.
So yeah, big up to everybody else. Hey.
Yes. How important are naps to you, especially now that you're a mommy?
Listen, on my lunch hour, I'm napping. If I can nap,
Nice.
I'm taking a nap. No, honestly, like if I love my sleep to begin with, a lot of my sleep as well, I'm noticing that if I don't get enough sleep, it's hindering my own health as well with regards to my vertigo, which I was talking about earlier before we got started. So if I'm not getting enough sleep, I find that that's kind of affecting me a little bit, but no, I love my sleep. Good thing I'm with someone who is a morning person, because without him,
Shout
I
out
don't know how
Tuti.
I'd be able to survive. So big up to Tuti, because yeah, him and my daughter, I can't. Like my daughter's like, hey, mommy, buenos dias, ya salió el sol, vamos, and I'm like, go, go play, go do your thing. No, I love my naps, and I love my sleep.
No, it's important. I didn't believe in naps many years ago, but yeah, you have to.
No, you need
So
your
those naps are
I
important.
can use a nap right now.
Soon, brother.
Go ahead, I'll carry the show.
It's 7:30. We're almost halfway there. Not even. But okay, cool. So, do you have any questions for me before I continue?
Are you okay? You still nervous? Breaking the ice a little bit?
I'm always nervous. I still see that I'm having issues with my drop frame, so I have to continue making adjustments. Sorry, guys, if it's lagging and stuff, but I'm gonna figure it out because YouTube is interesting. But to answer your question, I'm good. I'm okay.
Gucci?
It's always the beginning.
Yeah.
It's always the beginning, just to make sure everything is running smooth. But like I said, next week I have to make sure it doesn't happen again. Exactly.
Trial and errors.
Exactly. I'm just being honest.
Yep.
But okay. So when was it? Did you have a question?
No,
Good.
we're good. Let's go.
When was it, Shayla? When did you, I guess, begin to get that interest to be, when did you start thinking about becoming a paralegal?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So I've always been interested in law from as long as I can remember. I mean, my mom going through the family courts and everything, she even exposed us to like going to the downtown courthouses, right? And she'd like always take us to like the back areas where you could see everybody coming out from court and all the inmates essentially, right? So I've always had a passion for it. As I grew up older, it was, okay, I want to get into criminal law, stay away from family, want to get into criminal law. But unfortunately, some things and experiences in my own world and in my own life, I had to back away from that just because there were certain stories that were obviously just too triggering for me in a way. And I just knew that I'd be a disservice to my clients if I were to get into criminal law because you have to be able to find a way to work, but then also shut off your work mind, right? And I feel like once you're in criminal law, you don't get that ability and you don't get that privilege. So I've always been exposed to it. I've always loved it. I've always had a passion for it. And then I was dibble-daddling between law and then psychology. And then at one point I was like, do I become a hairstylist or do I want to be a flight attendant? But then as I got into high school and later half of my years of high school, when I got into a law course, I actually did law in grade 11 and grade 12. I was like, this is for me. And my teacher at that point too, he's like, you're really good at this. Like, you should really try it out. And I was like, do I really want to commit to something that I still don't know if I'm really going to fully enjoy it? And then at that point and during high school, obviously to get into college and into university, your credits and everything matter at that point. And my English teacher at that point, I asked her to put me into university English. And of course I was dealing with my own health issues. So she's like, you don't have the capacity to be able to go into university English. Nobody's going to be able to handhold you for that. No one's going to sit with you. Nobody's going to give you the extension. So she didn't support me in that. And her kind of word was bond for the entire school. So I ended up getting dropped down to college English. And I needed my university English to get into the degree program at Humber for the paralegal program that I wanted to get into. And she kind of like screwed me over because then that would have been my pathway into law school as my 4 years undergrad to then get into law school. So that kind of fell through the drain. So instead of doing the 4-year program, I did the 2-year program at Humber. And yeah, I've loved it since. And part of that too was like, look, this is my blessing in disguise. Like if I get into it and I don't really like it, at least it's not like hundreds of thousands of dollars down the drain. It's only a couple of thousands. But I loved it from the moment that I got in. I mean, I was just like really embracing it. And I'm like, this is definitely something that I want to do. And here we are, what are we, 2026? So like 7 years later, and I'm in the field and have my own clients. I have my own court appearances. I assist with my other business partner, and so we're ultimately growing. So we got a firm down in Florida doing U.S. immigration as well in like all of the United States, and then growing as well with a couple of other professionals here in Ontario that we kind of just scatter out and support one another.
That's amazing.
I know. Thank you.
So awesome.
Wow, that's a quite a story.
Yeah, very.
It stems like I get asked that a lot, right? Like, how did you start, or what were the steps that progressed you? And I always talk about that one English teacher, because if that one English teacher just would have been like, Shayla, like it's going to be difficult, but I believe in you and you can do it. Maybe my pathway would have been a little bit different in the sense of I probably would have been a lawyer at this point. But I always say just go through it. Like she even said at that point, she's like, you're never going to succeed in law. Like this is not the area for you. There's a lot of reading. There's a lot of comprehension that you got to be able to retain. And like getting shot down from there, like you'd think like you're a high school student, you should be like you're a high school teacher, sorry. You should be able to motivate your students and make sure that, they're getting into something that they generally enjoy. And yeah, till this day, that thing just like bugs me a little bit.
That was like your villain origin story.
Yeah, because it was like, I just needed that one little push from you, because everybody else is like, Shayla, you got it. Like, don't worry about it. That one, and of course, like English teacher, right? Her word is bond for everybody else. And Oh, I still want to go back to that school and be like, here's my business card, but I'm humble. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Hey, sometimes you gotta show them.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you gotta show them.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, where when educators are the ones that try to shoot down your dreams just because they're trying to keep it real. Like, your job is to motivate the person, not put your 2 cents in what you think they're capable of. You're supposed to bring that out of someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think don't get me wrong, I've been out of the education system for so long now, right? And I'm not a teacher myself, but I think that there's a lot of people that are getting into the education system now just for the privileges of having the summer off, having the holidays off, that there's not like back in elementary school, there's never teachers anymore that are really willing to put in that extra work for you or for the students to be like, hey, I know these are your goals and I want you to be able to achieve them. Let's take an extra half an hour after school and be able to meet together and go through what it is that you need, right? So I feel like there's a lot of teachers that are lacking that, and there are a lot of teachers that, still genuinely care for their students, are willing to put in that effort, but deep down I still think that there's a lot of teachers out there that are just using it for the summers off and everything else.
Well, shout out to the real teachers out there that actually care about the kids, that are,
I know a few.
a beacon of light.
Yeah, shout out to you guys, because it's you guys mean a lot, and it's I had those a couple of teachers, Mr. Bottles, Father Henry Carr, always taught us think outside the box.
Yep.
Always question things, because a lot of teachers don't really say stuff like that. There's very few that are honest with you, and just know, again, just like she said, if you're watching, thank you. It means more than you think. But how has it been so far, juggling everything? Being a paralegal, being a mother, being a wife. Like, how's that been going? How long has it been now since you guys have been married?
We're actually not legally married.
Okay.
We've done everything that a married couple does,
Gotcha,
but we're not actually legally married. But yeah, Tuti and I have been together. We're what? 5 years, 6 years?
No,
7 years. Oh my gosh.
I don't know why I thought you guys were married.
I don't know why No, we're not. I know a lot of people actually think that. No, so we've been together. We're going on 7 years. It's been a lot. I mean, Tuti and I got together right before the pandemic hit. So we got together in August, right in 2019. So we had like a lot of trips scheduled. We were going out a lot. Like, we were doing road trips. And I'll never forget, we were coming back from Chicago, and we had crossed the border. We were just getting back into like our regular routine for work, and we came in, I believe it was like Sunday evening. I ended up getting sick Monday or Wednesday, it was something like that, where they had the complete shutdown from the pandemic, and it was like, no one's going anywhere, like absolutely not. If you're an essential worker, like you're essentially not moving unless you're an essential worker. And in my industry, it's hard because what's considered an essential worker when you have people who are literally on their deathbeds, having to be able to draft up their wills and get their wills in place to be able to ensure that, their assets and everything are protected. So that was a lot. And then after the pandemic, I guess, like, depending on who you ask, like, the pandemic ended in 2021, 2022. But then we ended up getting pregnant at the end of 2021. So it was like bam, 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 bam. Then we had our daughter in 2022. So it's been a little bit of an adjustment going in from being together as a new couple to essentially living together during the pandemic and like adjusting to all of that, to then after the pandemic, moving twice and then bringing in our little girl. So it has been an adjustment with regards to being able to navigate and evolve, right? So parenting is really hard. Tuti's schedule, he is a performer as well. He's a singer, and he does have his own 9 to 5 as well. So adjusting from newly parents to adjusting to his schedule and him being able to go out and do his gigs and being home alone with the baby, it was hard. And I think, like, in the past year, I want to be able to say where I finally evolved as a woman, as a mom, as a partner, and as just Shayla, aside from everything else, right? Like, everyone sees me, oh, like, that's a paralegal, or, that's, George's sister, or, you know what I mean? Like, you coordinate it with the family. But to be me as my own person, as my own individual, it's I can honestly say it's been like about a year, which is really not a lot because my daughter's going to be 4. So think about like half her year there. It's finally starting to kick in on the adaptation and working and doing all of that. Now, working is really, really hard. I run my own firm. I run my own office. So I don't get the 9 to 5 job. I sometimes have to meet with clients at 8 o'clock in the morning or have to, like last week I had to send something out to a client at 10 o'clock at night because we had a court appearance the next day. So I don't necessarily have that 9 to 5 freedom where it's like 5 o'clock I get to clock out. So it is an adjustment, but I make it a priority to have family time, and that's definitely something that we've been able to prioritize the last couple of years now. Just having that family time and ensuring that it's just us, like everything aside, all the outside noise, the gigs, the events and everything else that's coming up. Yeah, it's been an adjustment. Like, it's definitely not easy. Like, I hate when people are like, oh, like, what do you mean it's so soft? And like, you guys will get it. And it's like, no, it definitely takes you some time to readjust.
That's awesome.
I don't know if I answered your question. I just went on a tangent.
No,
but
it was good. No, it's keep it going, and obviously, it's not going to get any easier sometimes, but it's just, you have to remain focused, and remaining focused, I also believe is nonstop making adjustments, right?
And I think that's it, is that you're constantly adapting to the new norm, right? The first year of my daughter's life, it was like, okay, we got a routine, we're good to go. And then it's like the minute you say you got a routine, it's like, nope, everybody's like, we're doing a complete 180 again. Like, nope, forget it. But she's getting older now. Like, she starts school in September, which is wild to me. But yeah, it's adapting, it's changing, and just kind of going with the flow. You know what I mean? I was very, I was such a control freak of like, this time we got to be out, and this day we're doing this, and da-da-da-da. And I'm just like, you know what? Like, as long as we're healthy, we're free, we're able to move around, we're able to do what we want, just embrace it. So what, we're a couple of minutes late or like an hour late. Oops. Oh, well, at least we're all still together. Yeah. But yeah.
No, just keep it up. Keep it up and stay the course. It's not easy, but it's not supposed to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Working anywhere, it's difficult, but trying to run and trying to build a business from the bottom up is very challenging. And that's why I was asking you, like, how has it been balancing, because it happens quick, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, you obviously, like any business, right? I'm sure you guys run your own businesses too. Like any business, you have your crazy months where it's just so overwhelming, you want to put your hair out of your head, and then you have quiet months, and then even during those quiet months you're like, oh, I wish it was a busy month, like we can just keep going. How do I navigate it? I don't know. Again, me personally, for being able to block some of that out, I put my phone on automatically on do not disturb after 9:30. So if you're messaging me at 9:30, like, don't expect a response from me unless I'm actually opening up my phone. Like, Jona, I know you messaged me over the weekend. You're like, hey, like, talking about this. And I was like, my phone doesn't beep. Like, if you're going to call me, it's going to go straight to voicemail. But yeah, I'm very strict with, like, when my daughter's home, the minute she walks into the door, unless it's something pressing, like, I'll attend to it. But I just try to really make that my focal point of just when it's family time, it's family time. And then if she has to go to bed and I still have to jump online to be able to do a couple of things, and I'll just wait until either she's already going into bed and, Tuthie's putting her down, or I'll put her down with him and we'll make it like a little bit of a family thing, and then I'll just jump back online. So yeah, sometimes I'm working till 12, 1 o'clock, maybe 2 o'clock in the morning, depending on what needs to get done. But I mean, you got to make it work, right? Like, you're helping, providing for a family as well, and one income isn't going far in today's day and age, so you just got to be able to do what you got to do. And at the end of the day, like, I love my job. Like, I've always said this is definitely something I want to be able to get into. So it's not like, oh, I gotta work till like 2 a.m. I'm tired. No, I mean, it's like, I get to work. Okay, let me get this up for my client. Let's let's do this. Let's do that. Amazing. Let's get the win for my clients and get them the results that they ultimately want. And if that means that I gotta wait and be up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning as early to be able to get to work, then I'll do it.
Yeah, it's amazing. Especially with the fact that you don't have like a fixed schedule, right, for work. You were mentioning that your partner, he has like an outlet, right? He's a singer, right? What's your outlet?
Binge watching shows and being in bed by like 8 o'clock at night. No, it's funny because we, like, especially in the very first year of my daughter's life, I struggled with that a lot, like, in all honesty, because I didn't have an outlet, right? And a lot of places were still, depending on where you were going, it's don't come if your kid is sick, or don't come around kids. And regardless, kids are going to get sick, right? But especially around that time, it was the pandemic era. So it was really, really hard. And she was born in August. So by the time I was comfortable bringing her out into like the real world, it was already like December, like after the holidays. So there's not really much that you can actually do outside without actually risking your child and being so young too. So I did struggle with that. So, and again, it's just something that I'm learning and I'm adapting to. Being able to have like my girls' nights, or being able to just go out for dinner, or just be able to go on the phone, go for a walk, and just be able to speak to my girls. And a part of that is not that, my partner didn't allow me. I hate that term. It's like, oh, does your partner allow you? No, like, it's not even about that. It was more of the anxiety of being a first-time mom and leaving your daughter or your child behind and not knowing what could potentially happen, or God forbid, like something does happen and you're not reachable, right? Like, let's say your phone were to die, or you're so busy and you're so occupied and doing whatever you're not that you completely forget about your phone. Yeah, so that was an adjustment. But now I'm like, I make it at least once a month to go out with either a couple of my girlfriends, or like I'll alternate like once every other month, right? Depending on obviously schedule, workflow, and being able to do family time as well. But I love to dance. So like the time that my hubby, I say hubby anyways, but the time that my hubby is singing, like I'll just go with him. Like, you're on stage, that's fine, but like I'll sit there and I'll just dance and just do my own thing. Like, I have that little bit of that freedom outlet in a way, right?
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Shout out, you're supportive. That's very, very important.
Yeah.
Question. So what areas of law have you always been interested in?
None that's beyond my scope. So what I mean by that is, as a licensed paralegal, we're still up to the same threshold and standards of the professionalism with regards to the lawyers. But I can't go into like family law, for instance, right? I can't go do like a construction lien matter. Within my scope, I can but I deal with a lot of tribunals, small claims, landlord and tenant board. I personally love small claims. That's my like little niche, if you want to say, simply because it's like the teaser to like the big courts. So like when you think of Superior Court of Justice and like the $100,000 claims and all of that, like where you're getting to the nitty-gritty of like breach of contracts, it's really the arguing and the advocating. That's where that's where it comes in. But yeah, I love, like, for my jurisdiction, I love small claims. And then with my business partner, we're doing a lot of family right now. We've got a lot of family files that have been coming through, but also wills and estates. So like estate planning, real estate. Before I got licensed, I was going into working as a real estate clerk. And I loved that. Like, the turnover time was amazing. You have families that are coming in as first time home buyers, parents that are helping their children purchase properties, right? So that was also rewarding to me. But I don't think I can say like one specific.
No.
I love a little bit of everything.
What's been the most challenging? I guess. Yeah, I guess, yeah.
The most challenging?
Yeah. So far, to date.
Yeah, I have to say family law. And I have to say family law because you get so much emotion when it comes involved in it. Obviously, you're dealing with families that are ultimately breaking down. You're dealing with child support. You're dealing with, people who don't care about anything. Just, sign the divorce paper and off we go. And then you have some easy files where, couples are married, there is no kids, there are no assets. So it's like an easy breeze. Okay, separation agreement, divorce, off you go. But I think family is really hard, especially when you see families with young children and you see them. And again, granted, right? Like, everyone, like, you're going through a divorce, it's something very, very hard. And it's literally life-changing. But to see it affect the kids and to see how their brain switches from, just everything aside from the kids and what's more important for the kids, but more on the financial aspect, that's been really hard.
Do you ever, when it comes especially to those divorce situations, right? Do you deal with these people in person? Do the couples show up together? Like, I've never really seen this, or do they just do everything separately? And
so it depends. It depends on what they're doing, right? I mean, some couples will be willing to do a joint divorce, and that's a little bit easier. Regardless, everybody needs their own lawyer, right? So either you're getting into an agreement, to a separation agreement, right? And you still need the other side. We always recommend the other side to go grab their lawyer just to be able to like review and sign off on the documentations, because there's nothing worse than being in a state of, in a frame of mind of, I just want to be able to sign off and get rid of it. And then 6 months, 12 months down the line, they're coming back. It's like, no, I never actually signed off on this, or I didn't know what I was signing off on. So we always tell, like, even if you're on the same page or not, just go get your independent legal advice. That's what we call it, for them to be able to go get their lawyer. But to be able to do it together, we never recommend that. Just again, you never know what disputes can come up. And at the end of the day, one way or another, one party's giving something up. Right? No matter which way you look at it, whether you're giving up like equalization, so if it's spousal support, if you have kids, the child support, which the courts will never sign off on a divorce anyways, when child support is actually allocated. But yeah.
What's one of the, I don't know if you're at liberty to speak about this, what's one of the craziest things that you have seen one or the other party get out of the settlement, I guess, or the divorce?
Like amount wise?
Amount or like, asset, like what's one of the craziest things you saw that somebody lost?
I don't know how much I can go, but there was an asset with regards to like artwork. Oh. Like high-end artwork, and I'll never forget where the artwork came into our office and we're like, don't even touch it, leave it in the bag, don't do this. Like, you don't realize how much assets people actually have until you're like fully blown in there and you're exposed to all of it, right? But there's crazy things, like people go after dogs too, like, no, like I want the dog, man. And just like, I mean, can I take your dog? Like, I don't think I want your dog in your environment, let me get your dog.
I hear that. Yeah. But artwork, that's intense. Can you imagine? Oof.
Yeah, like imagine how much that stuff goes for, and some people have like multiple
decent cars, like, too. Vehicles are a big one as well.
That's rich.
Sure. Yeah. But like those are usually the main ones, I just wanted to know if there was like about a piece of artwork. That's intense. Never really thought about that. That's something that somebody could actually claim in a divorce. Man, that sucks.
Yeah, because it's assets, right? Like think about anything that has some sort of value to it, and I know, it's crazy.
Have you ever looked into or thought of like going into entertainment law?
I did. It's very tedious though, because it's something that you really have to like niche down on. Like you have to actually specialize in it, and you have to be exposed to it, right? So, give me signs.
No, I'm not. I'm stretching. Sorry, I changed the camera.
I thought you were doing a YMCA over there.
Oh no, sorry guys. I changed the camera.
I thought about it, but again, you have to. The other thing too is you have to really be exposed, and you have to be able to have the clientele for it. Like it's not worth it for us to be able to open up an area of law if we don't have the clientele for it.
For sure.
Awesome. Sorry, I have a question in the chat.
Ooh.
What does the future hold, or what specific route of law is the main focus for you in the future? And this was said by Battleship Legend.
I don't know who that is, but...
So let's ask it one more time. What does the future hold, or what specific route of law is the main focus for you in the future?
I definitely want to grow. I definitely don't want to just be a paralegal. Like I hate that term. Like, oh, you're just a paralegal. I definitely want to get into being like the top dog of like a lawyer. I definitely want to be a lawyer, but I think for me, for right now where I'm at, I mean, small claims just up their jurisdiction, their monetary jurisdiction. So prior to October 1st, you were only allowed to sue for $30,000. Now you're actually able to sue for $50,000, right? So small claims is going up a little bit. It's a little bit more cost effective when you think about hiring a lawyer compared to a paralegal. But area of law, I don't know. I mean, paralegals are starting to open up into family law within the Ontario Courts of Justice. We're doing a couple of programs there where we're allowed to be in there and be able to assist and make appearances in court. Do I want to touch family law personally? I don't know. That's what my business partner is there for. I'm like, hey, that's your file. Take it over. I'll just do all the communications. But yeah, I mean, there's so much areas. Like you have like corporate, you have commercial, you have the wills, the estate plannings, you got probate applications, right? Like when people have passed away and they've got assets and everything. Construction liens. There's been like a lot of construction liens that I've personally find coming in now the last couple of years. But yeah, I mean, the law is constantly changing too. Like constantly changing. Like if you look at the Residential Tenancy Act to begin with, right? If you look at back from 2020 till today, I think they've changed it about 10 times which is a lot, right? Because you got to maintain it. You got to constantly be up to date with what's changing, what's allowed, what's not allowed. And then they're changing it again with the Bill 60 that's coming out.
That's scary.
Sorry, what does that consist of, Bill 60?
So Bill 60, they actually touch on quite a bit of acts, so like the Construction Law Act. But Bill 60 specifically that everybody's been talking about.
Hold on, Bill, which one? Because
Bill 60.
The one I'm talking about is Bill C-16.
No.
Okay,
no,
that
this is
one.
Bill 60.
Oh, okay, my bad. That's why
Yeah,
I said
no,
what I
that's
said.
okay. There's a lot of laws coming in, but so Bill 60, they're kind of just reducing the time period for a lot of applications that the landlords are bringing in. So right now, if you wanted to do, like, if you want to evict your tenant for non-payment of rent, for instance, right? So right now, currently as it stands, is they have 14 days to be able to bring their account up to date before you can actually bring in an application into the courts, which is the LTB, the Landlord and Tenant Board, for the eviction. What they want to do now is they want to be able to shorten that to 7 days. So when I first got started, it was 20 days. Now it's 14 days. Now they wanted to shrink it to 7 days. It's good depending on how you look at it, but with regards to how the LTB is right now, think about everybody that's going to be late for the first week of the month on their rent, right? Now you imagine everybody trying to bring in those applications to the LTB and be able to get those heard. The minute you sent in an application, you're getting a hearing date. So think about all those applications. You're only going to be like overflowing the courts at this point, and sometimes like a lot of people could actually pay it within the 7 days or like 8 days, 9 days. But even if you're on the 9 days, majority of the landlords, especially the corporate landlords, right, by the 8th day your application is already in within the LTB.
So this is more at an advantage to the tenant, this particular bill?
No, it's more of an advantage to landlords. So depending, like, a lot of people right now think that the Bill 60 is actually hindering and doing worse for the tenants rather than actually helping them out.
Oh, because, well, no, I'm just thinking because you're saying that the bill, when they file, the landlord, they only have 7 days now for it to...
No, so, okay, so like I'm renting to you, right? And then you come, like, rent is due on the 1st, you don't make payment on the 1st, I give you a notice that, you know, your rent is due. If you don't pay within 7 days, this would be under the new bill. If you don't pay within 7 days, I'm going to file an application to be able to get you evicted.
Understood.
Right? So if you don't pay within those 7 days, technically by day 8, your landlord's already... Exactly. Yeah, you have them reversed. But, so technically by day 8, you can start applying. But think about everybody else that's already waiting, right? Or who are already submitting their applications on day 8, day 9. You're kind of just overflowing the system at this point, more than it already is, because even last year, like, I submitted an application in March of last year. I just had the hearing this month. So you're looking at almost just shy of a year of waiting for you to, depending on the application style. But yeah, there's just, I think it's going to do worse. And
that's before the law.
That's before the law changed.
Passes.
Exactly. Yeah.
So imagine when it does. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that one. I've only been hearing more about the C-16.
What's that one?
So I'll read it. But from what I remember, for example, the thing that popped up in my head the most, or stayed in my head, was the not being able to be like, we could be on the street, for example, praying, and if you're praying...
Oh, okay, yeah, the religion, basically
that
the religion
freedom of assembly.
Hold on one second.
Kind of like what they have in the UK already.
Yeah, hold on, this is a lot of stuff. Hold on, I should have never opened my mouth. That's what happens when it's live and you don't think before you talk.
No, it's okay. People, especially myself, like, we've been hearing about this at church, right? That limiting a lot of... They're trying to basically muzzle a lot of clergy and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, so it's called the Protecting Victims Act, targeting gender-based violence, deepfakes, and animal abuse. This bill, distinct from the 2017 LGBTQ plus rights legislation of the same name, proposes to criminalize the distribution of AI-generated images and deepfakes. And there's a lot.
Yeah, because typically when you're talking about bills, they don't just do like one law in particular, right? If they're going to bring something in, they're going to bring in a decent amount of changes to the laws that are already at stand. But yeah, I know with like the freedom of, the assembly and being able to protest if you want to protest, I think that's with a lot of what's been going down, especially in downtown Toronto, especially with the Palestine and the Israel wars and everything else that's been going on. So that's definitely it. These AI images are getting out of hand. I don't know if you guys have fallen for a couple of them, but they are.
It's insane.
They're getting worse and worse.
It's getting really worse. Yeah. So they just want to kind of bring that down to like, I don't want to say a zero because it's never going to happen now with AI out there, but yeah, they're really trying to monitor that.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask another question from the chat. Again, thank you guys for being patient.
Hey.
Let's go with this one. What mindset shift helped you from going to employee to business partner?
Mindset change. Damn.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still like, please pay me. And I'm talking to myself. No, I'm kidding. Mindset. I don't know. I feel like my mind at this point is if I don't do work, I'm not getting paid. Right? Because at the end of the day, if I don't show up, if there is no me and my business partner as well, I mean, I do hold the fort down a lot, but if I'm not showing up, I'm not getting paid. Right? And to me, like the way we work is our hours are billable. So if I'm losing an hour of work, I'm losing about at least my rate, losing my rate or half of my business partner's rate. So yeah, I just really there's more motivation to be able to get up and actually work, if that makes sense. Not to say that I was kind of not nickeling and diming, but like kind of coasting with my business partner because I've been working with my business partner since before I even became licensed, right? So I've been able to go up that steer, but yeah, I just got to get work done, man. It's mindset and just believing in myself, right? Like I have all the teacher in the back of my head, like, you're not capable of doing this. And it's like, here I am.
So to add to that, somebody asked here, going back to the story about your teacher not motivating you, how did you find the motivation to not only become a paralegal, but also open up your own business? So it's a two-part question. And the last question is, the second part is, how did you conquer any doubts or fears?
Good question.
That is a good question. I was going to read it off too because that was a fully loaded one.
Yeah.
How did you motivate? I feel like I'm very much on that. You cannot tell me no. You cannot tell me I cannot do something because I will show you that I can go ahead and I can do it. And I think that's in every aspect of my life. I remember like something as silly of like being told, oh, you're going to be like 16 and pregnant. Like you're going to be within the stereotype of, growing up with like a single mom. And I was like, you're going to watch what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be just 16 and pregnant or just like make another broken home. I am going to be able to have that steady relationship and build that relationship. So that way my future kids can look after them and have something to look up to as well. So I think just, again, having that constantly in the back of my head, like I even failed accounting in college and I was like, wow, like, is this really for me? But I was like, no, like you just got to focus. You just got to be able to do what you got to do and really just put your mind to it. Because the minute you start putting your mind to something and and you start talking to yourself in that positive way, then you're going to be able to achieve it. Right? If you're constantly talking down on yourself or you're constantly hearing like the negatives and the bad and the do's and the don'ts and the this and the that, you're never going to be able to succeed. You have to be able to kind of just shut that down and just envision it for yourself and know like I'm that boss. I'm going to be able to go and do what I want to do and no one else is going to stop me.
That's awesome. Very well said.
Thank
Mary,
you.
you want to add anything to it?
Yeah, no, just the second part to the question. I don't know if, how do you conquer any doubts or fears?
I think back at where I always go back to where I was at a certain point in my life. Like there was definitely a hard time where I struggled from that transition from high school to college and essentially being on my own with like, not like on my own because I was still living at home, but as an individual, as an adult, as someone who's now coming up into the open world. I always go back and think of 10-year-old Shayla. 10-year-old Shayla was probably crying on her pillow like, is my life ever going to get better? Like, what's up for me? And
oh, man, you're thinking about that at 10 years old?
Yeah, like I mean I think I was like exposed to a lot of things that a lot of kids aren't actually exposed to, even as young as 3-4 years old, right? Like there's a lot of things that I go back and I'm like, no, Shayla, when 3-4 years old or 10 years old is gonna, like, if you go back and you look at yourself or you're able to speak to yourself, like you'll be able to show them, look at everything you've been able to accomplish. Look at all the negatives that you were told in your life, but look how much you were able to come across from that and be able to conquer all of that and continue pushing forward. Because imagine where you were 10 years from your life, 10 years ago in your life.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You would never think in your mind, like, Jona, you'd be in front of a camera, right? You'd be hosting your own podcast, right? You'd be able to do content creation. You'd be able to do all this stuff. You'd be able to put yourself out there. 10-year-old you or like 10 years ago you would be like, Yeah, right. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, no,
Right? And
you're-
like, as something as small as 5 years ago, right? Like 10 years ago, if you would have told me, yeah, Shayla, like, you're going to be in a good relationship, you're going to have your daughter, you're going to be, like, you have your own business, I would have been like, me? You're lying.
Yeah.
Right? But I think that's the only thing that just, again, keeps you going, and just keep setting goals for yourself.
Yeah. That's awesome.
When you open up a business like this, right? Is there like a specific type of business license that you get, or is it like a regular business license?
So it depends. So if you're doing a professional corporation, we also have to abide by the law society requirements. You obviously got to cough money up front. I was lucky enough that my business partner now was actually my boss at one point. I started with him, and then it got to a point where he's like, you know what, Shayla, like, your business partner material. He's like, I want you to let's be partners. So we shut down his previous firm, and then we started our new firm up from essentially square one, right, from scratch, and we've been able to build from that because it was essentially like a restart for him as well. But yeah, and then we did an LLP, so it's not as strict, I want to say, as like a professional corporation that the LSO looks at. But you still have like a lot of things like the auditing, the accounting, and the trust accounts, and this and that. So it's a lot of admin details that I don't think a lot of people actually realize. I could just say that the accounting course that I failed is coming into good use now. Right? But yeah, I mean,
That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
It's a lot of information to take in, and sometimes I wander off because I'm like trying to remember everything you're saying. But another question that we had here.
Keep the questions coming, guys.
What advice would you give a young student who wants to pursue law as a career?
Don't feel discouraged. I had so many people tell me, like, are you sure you want to get into law? Like, run the other way. What are you doing? Like, don't come into law. Definitely do it. If you know that you've got the brain power, the manpower to be able to do it, and if you need a backbone, because this is such a male-dominated industry. Like, I still have, like, I'm going up against lawyers sometimes in the tribunal and even in small claims, and they're like, ugh, just, like, school off. And I'm like, let's go through everything. And, I end up coming with the win. It's like, don't underestimate females in this industry. And at the end of the day, don't lower yourself either based on what other people think of you or what other people's perceptions are of you. Right? Just keep going through it. You're definitely going to get a lot of no's in your career. Me personally, I got told that I was replaceable in the firm, and here I am now as a business partner with the managing partner. So there's a lot of things that, it really is cutthroat.
Been a lot of spicy people in your life.
Ooh, yeah. No, I mean, like, and I take it with a grain of salt, right? Like, at that point, I was like, how dare you? Like, how could you after I But, like, I look back at it now, and it's like, you know what? They've taught me something. They've taught me to never back down. They've taught me to continue pushing and going forward and being able to do and be in an industry that a lot of people told me I couldn't do.
That's intense. Regarding that, right? Like, just knowing that you always have to kind of just be on guard and just having to be in those rooms with lawyers, who knows, with like serious experience under their belt and stuff. When you go home, does that ever like create conflict where you're still in boss mode? Like, sometimes one thing that I've seen in couples and marriages and stuff is sometimes, especially in today's society, right, allowing our guys to lead.
Yeah.
Right. It's very hard. We actually have to, sit down sometimes and have those conversations. But like, does that?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's definitely like come into our home turf at that point. There are tough days, and I'm not even going to say that there aren't any more tough days like that. There are definitely tough days where I'm having a rough day, and me and Tuti will be in the kitchen, or like something will happen with her daughter, and I just snap, and I'm like, nah, like little chihuahua, nah. And he's like, hey, take a second. He's like, we're not your clients. We're not like the other party that you're arguing with. Like, take a second, either go for a walk, go lay down for a little bit, just come back and regroup. And yeah, has it taken a toll on our relationship? 100%. Because sometimes, again, like, I'm feisty in that sense, right? And I'm very like on guard, and I got to fight for my clients. Like, that's literally what people do, and ultimately what people hire me for. So I definitely have taken a toll of just like being able to unwind from that, and remember, again, turning on that on and off switch. And what's a little bit hard too is that I work from home majority of the time.
Okay.
right? So I don't necessarily have like that, okay, like I'm going from like office to home so I can like unwind, de-stress, blast my music and like good to go. Sometimes I'm like working from home and I'm still taking calls on my way to pick up my daughter from daycare, or like I'm picking her up in the daycare, I've got her in the back of the car and I'm still taking calls and like trying to do all of this stuff, right? So I don't always know when my on and off switch goes on, but I'm learning. It's a learning process. And I think no matter what happens, if it's a chill day, you know, like obviously working, but it's not as so hectic. I notice it more and I'm like, hey babe, like sorry, I was a little rough last week. I'm sorry. Like, it's just not you. And it's having that open communication where he knows it's a stressful day, or like I'll tell him like I'm pissed off and like screw this and screw that. And just letting him know like it's not you, and it's like I don't mean to be snappy at you, and even having those conversations with my daughter too, right? Because I don't know how you guys were growing up with your parents when they had stressful days, like they would come home and take it out on you, right, in one way or another. And I've always made that very clear, like if I'm having a bad day, I want to be able to have that conversation with my daughter. And it's like, look, it's not you, and if I snapped at you or if I yelled at you over something small, like I am sorry. Right? So I am having that open communication with them, and both of them, right? And being able to recognize it, because I think that's super, super important.
Oh, it's again, at the end of the day, it's just finding that balance, right? Which is it's not easy, because again, like I've said before, we don't live in 4 walls. You know what I mean? We have to go out, we have to do things, we have to keep making adjustments, right? So that's awesome. What's one thing you like to do on your alone time when there's no hubby, no baby, no work, and you have the opportunity?
I just love lounging. I'm a couch potato.
Okay.
I'm such a couch potato. Put on like Netflix or Disney Plus. I do like the nostalgic Disney shows.
What's your favorite Disney movie?
Disney movie? Can I say High School Musical? Is that like High School Musical, Camp Rock? Like that was my era, because you have to keep in mind, like I was the baby of the group, right? So like I grew up to like Freddy versus Jason. I Know What You Did Last Summer, Friday the 13th. So like I don't know, like Cinderella, and like people would be like, what do you mean? You've always used to watch that. I'm like, my memory back then? Forget it. I remember again being with my brother and all his friends and listening to scary movies, and whenever we were out camping, we would go to like the cemetery and see like scary stories and everything. So like I was exposed to that, you know what I mean? But I think like Disney's wise would be like preteens, maybe High School Musical. And
shows? You said you were watching shows?
Yeah, so like Hannah Montana, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Oh man, that's really your era.
That was like my era. And then like Jersey Shore. That's not Disney, but like
it's t-shirt time.
The cats are here.
The Canadian version just came out, I think. The Canadian
yes, Canada Shore. I started watching it, and then I realized, wow, I'm actually not that young.
Is it okay? I haven't seen it. Obviously we can't compare to the other.
You can't compare it to the OG, but I think there's like Geordie Shore or something, like there's other ones, but because it's Canada, I'm like, let me see if like I know
where
of
is
anybody.
It?
Which one?
The Canadian version. Like where are they?
Oh, on Paramount Plus.
No, I'm saying like where in Canada is it?
Oh, where are they recording it? Vancouver. They recorded it in Vancouver. Yeah.
I'm gonna sign up for next year. The only Latino there. And I'm gonna do the podcast and imagine all the drama. You'll be like, guys, sorry, we have to stop the show because these guys keep fighting. Mary, you have a question for her or a question for me? Shayla, you have any questions for me? You guys know? You guys good? No questions?
You okay? You vibing?
I'm okay. Yeah. I'm just looking at everything, just making sure.
I just want to give Jona a shout out though, because he really is behind the screens, and you guys don't see like the before the show, and I've been here already from 2024 actually, when I realized how long it's been. He really does a lot. So like to everybody that is on here, thank you so much for supporting him and supporting us, because I don't want to say he's a one-man show, because he ain't anymore. He's got someone over here, but he's really doing it all.
I'm just here trying to look pretty. But this man's really the one over there. The guy looks like a hacker.
Stop making me blush. I know. I look like a hacker, but I have no idea. I don't know how to hack shit. I wish I did, so I could hack the bank and make some, get some money. I know they're watching me, but I'm not gonna
Big brother.
I'm not going to do it.
For entertainment purposes only, he does not mean that, right? We should say that.
For sure.
Just
allegedly.
Okay, I have the contract written up. We're okay.
Yeah, she's gonna represent me, so don't mess around.
Where do you stand with faith? Are you a person of faith? Like, do you practice religion?
Yeah. So I have my moments. I'm not gonna lie. Like there are definitely times where I'm like, ugh, do we want to do it? Do we not? Like, do we really want to get into it? I think it really wasn't until we had our daughter where we were like, again, postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety. Like there was like a big black cloud over me. And it wasn't until like I started going back into my religion and really just focusing on it and praying. And when I got back into that, I thought about again, like, 10-year-old Shayla or like 5-year-old Shayla to be crying on her pillow. Like, God, like, why are you doing this? Like, what's so difficult? Like, why is my life like this? Why can't I just be normal? Why can't I just, you know what I mean? Like have an easy breezy life. And then like every day I wake up and I'm like, I'm literally living the prayers that I was praying back when I was younger, and I couldn't be more thankful. Like there were definitely times where, obviously, full disclosure, I've thought about, offing myself and just saying like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. And then I look at my daughter and I'm like, I want you to be able to not have to feel those stressors and all that negativity and everything else that's been going on. So we have been going to church. We've been trying to go to church a lot now. We've been moving a lot too, so it's hard to be able to find like that one parish where it's like everything works. But the other thing too is our schedules are all over the place, right? And I know everyone says like, you got to prioritize, you got to be able to go to church. It's just 1 hour of the day and which I get that, I understand it. But at the same time, we're also trying to prioritize just being, you know what I mean? And just living. But like every night we'll say our prayer. Every time we're about to eat, we'll say our prayer, and we'll always give thanks, and we'll always, be blessed with all the blessings that we have in our lives, because so many people take for granted of just even being able to breathe, being able to speak, being able to see, right? There's so many, like you hear so many stories now with everything else that's going on in the world, and you just pray that people just find peace within themselves. And I think that's one of the main thing. And at least for me, it was, I just want, like, you hear the phrase, peace be with you, right? And it's like, okay, yeah, no, it's a phrase. No. Like, are you at peace in your heart? Like, are you satisfied where you are at? Are you happy where you're at? Like, if you were to be gone tomorrow, would you be okay with the life that you're living? Like, are you constantly on edge? Are you constantly online and looking at everything else that's been going on? Or are you satisfied with where you are, right? And it's being satisfied and being grateful for those little things in life.
Gotcha. Are you Catholic, Protestant?
Catholic. Yeah.
Okay. So Mass.
Well,
that's a cool thing. A lot of people think that you have to go to one specific place all the time, like wherever it is that's close to you. Like I visit a couple of churches, at any given time. I have my home church, but then I also go to a couple other churches, right? Just because I don't feel like you have to be aligned with just one particular place. Right. At the end of the day, it's faith. We're going there to worship. We're going there to pay our respects for God, and it's also like gathering, right? It's the energy of gathering with others, even if you don't have to talk to anybody else at the church. Like there's something happening there in the air, in the atmosphere, right?
It's so peaceful. Like you walk in and it's like, I went the other day to actually pick up my baptism certificate, so I'm getting my daughter enrolled in school now. And like I walked in and I was like, I had just stopped at the office. I was meeting with a client. I was so stressed, and I walked into church. I'm like, I'm just sit here for a little bit. I would just sit here for a little bit and see how it goes, and just really embrace it and just be, again, at peace. Right? It's just being able to be at peace within yourselves and just how you are sitting there. So yeah, no, I agree. And just being able to, like, every pastor, every priest, however you want to call them, depending on where you go, is completely different. And you got to be able to be aligned to some extent with what they're saying and how they interpret the book. You know what I mean? With the readings. So yeah.
Cool. Interesting. Yeah, going back to what you were saying about like, just so peaceful when you go in there. Right? I remember vividly when we went to my brother's daughter's baptism. And again, going through life, whatever's happening and whatever, and I made it, and I was a little bit late for the beginning of the mass, and I remember I sat in there and I'm just there, listening and everything, and you could feel it right away, just peace. Yeah. I just started crying. Yeah. And I'm like, what's wrong? I'm like, I don't know. I just, But no, yeah, it's for me, at least for me, like getting closer to God, and surrounding myself with people like that or like-minded. It's helped me, because again, when I first started the show, right? Again, I looked different. I was thinking a little bit different. I was still drinking. Not that there's a problem with drinking, but for those that weren't here, again, I've been in the music industry for a long time, and there was always a lot of alcohol, and it's just, I let it consume me. Not as bad as some may say, but bad enough for me, that it made me see things and do things differently. But it's yeah, man, God's awesome. He knows when to show up, how to show up. And
don't you feel aligned though, like once you like give yourself up in that, like on your religious beliefs, and like you've, again, feeling the alignment and just knowing that you're in the spot where you're supposed to be?
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just,
Yeah.
I feel like you can't understand it unless you're actually going through it.
Yeah, I don't even know how to explain it, but yeah. It's weird,
Yeah.
but it's a good thing. It's a good weird.
It's like a good relief. You know what I mean? It's just,
Yeah.
the heavens open. Not yet, but.
Yeah. No,
But yeah.
it's super important. Anyways, go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, do you feel like because of the fact that, you know, you're basically the way that you make your money now depends a lot mainly on you finding your own business, right? So do you feel like because of those things you really depend on God a lot more? Do you find yourself like really holding on to God, like, yo, I can't do this without you?
Yeah.
And even with that, making your own money, has that affected like things at home? Like, do you feel like, is there, because I know sometimes when one couple is making more money than the other, like it creates friction sometimes, right?
I think it depends on how you look at it. And I think it's your mentality on it, right? Like, I'll let Tuti say his piece when he's here, but he grew up back home, right? So his thing was the man has to provide. The man has to be able to do this. The man has to be able to do that. And it took us a while kind of for me to like knock it across his head and be like, we're in this together. Like, I don't care if it's man, woman. I don't care if you're making like 100,000 more than I am, or I'm making, you know, vice versa. At the end of the day, we're in this together. And like, for us, it's not even about like the value of money or how much like zeros are at the end of your paycheck every year or whatever it is. For us, it's more of, are we able to provide for the basics for our family and be able to have additional funds to be able to do additional stuff? Right? I think a lot of people take for granted all the extracurriculars that we're able to do, right? Whether it's for your kids, whether it's for yourself, like we're very grateful in that sense. And like the money that comes in, we're like very smart about it. And we're what's obviously going for, you know, the roof over our head, or what's going for food and what's going for our daughter's daycare, right? But I think especially lately, I want to say in the past year and a half or so now, that we've just been like, you know what, we're in this together. We don't look at it, who's like the breadwinner of the family, right? It's, we're all in this together. We're going to go through it together. And, you know, if you don't have one day, I'm going to have the next day. And again, running your own business, unfortunately, the money is never guaranteed, right? There's expenses that you got to do. There's staff you got to pay for to be able to keep you got to keep the lights up and running. All right. So some days I'm missing a pay, but then I'm able to make up for it, like, you know, a week later or whatever it is, but we're able to adjust and coordinate that way and make things last. Right. And it's not to be greedy and be like, yeah, like we're going on vacation or we're going here every single month or every 6 months or whatever it is. It's being able to just not have to deal with stress in that sense, because there is a value of, you know, if you're not making money, you're obviously stressing on where the next paycheck's going to come through, but just recognizing and not being greedy about it, because I think that's a lot of hard things that are going on right now. Is a lot of people are just very greedy with their money, in the sense of, yeah, I want to make, but like at the end of the day, how much more can you make to be able for you to be satisfied with yourself, or for you to be comfortable, if that makes sense, right? On top of the fact of cost of living and all that other stuff, but just knowing that money is not everything, but at the same time, it's just knowing that balance of, you got to eat, right? You need a roof over your head. So I think we've just been able to navigate that, especially in today's day and age.
Yeah, of course. These are all amazing topics. We can go on forever and ever. But we've been on already for an hour and 10 minutes.
Ooh.
Man, really?
Okay. Time flies, man.
I know, time flies.
Sorry,
Having
how
fun.
about an hour? Because I think we started a little bit late. But
it's
because
okay.
I'm late. But you have any questions for me, Skylar? No? One you can think of right now?
How you've been obviously discussing religion a lot more, I find, which is obviously a good thing, because you're exposing a lot of people who just kind of shut it out. And I don't know if it's a part of it is because the older generation that raised us, they were always very, you know, you have to get to church, you have to be able to do this. So I think that there's a fine line of the negative aspects of religion and then the positive aspects of religion. So how are you finding now, especially in our generation, and I say our generation because we're pretty much within the same like 10-year era, how are you finding that with people who don't believe in it or who look down on it? Like, oh, people who go to church are negative people. Da, da, da.
Oh, good question. I wasn't expecting that. Well, look, I'm still a baby to this, if that's what you want to call it. You know what I mean? Again, I was born and raised Catholic. You know, my parents were like, and it's funny that you say this or ask that question, because I've had conversations recently with friends where like my parents put us in Sunday school, You know what I mean? And like we didn't see that. Like again, God has always been in our life. You know, He's always been in mine. But I never. It's not like it is now. You know what I mean? And it's I don't know, man. It's constantly changing. I'm learning more about myself while I get closer to Him. And oh man, that was a good question. And the thing is, sorry, my brain's just thinking of all these answers, but yeah.
Jordan's like, come back next week and I'll have an answer for you.
Yeah, no, it's a good question. I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to add to that or say something to it while I process what I want to say, because
You
it's a
know,
good question.
You know, at least in my walk, I mean, I grew up in church, right? I grew up in like Pentecostal realm of Christianity.
Yeah.
And, you know, just right off the jump right there, some people are just like, oh, no, you're one of those crazy ones. Look, que andan ahí, you know, corriendo por toda la iglesia, you know, the ones that speak in tongues, like all.
Yeah.
For me, like, that's a different topic right there, the whole speaking in tongues thing. Like, there's a lot of things that me personally, and this is just me, like, God forgive me if, like, I'm judging here, but I don't think I am. Like, there are things that happen in church that I personally wish they toned it down a little bit, especially because I want to bring people, you know what I mean, to church. Like, from my understanding, like what I've read in the Bible, it's like everybody's not supposed to just be like speaking in tongues at the same time, right? There's actual scripture, and this is like a debate that happens in like the Christian circles, like Christian, that I've noticed on Christian YouTube, is that some people, the Bible says that one person is speaking in tongues, somebody has to be able to translate it. That's how you know it's a divine situation that's happening. But if everybody's doing it, is that really God flowing through you, or are you just babbling?
You're right. Yeah, just saying words at that point, just trying to get. Yeah,
and that can scare people. You know, that can turn people off at times. And there have been certain churches, I don't want to mention any names, but there was a very popular one here in Toronto, where it turns out that they were like actually some of the manifestations that were happening in the church were a Kundalini spirit that was manifesting. And then for those of you who don't know what that is, I believe it's a Hindu practice. It's something that happens when you open up your chakras, right? And it's a serpent that goes up your spine, like metaphorically, physically, I don't know. But then it makes you start reacting a certain way. You start laughing uncontrollably. You start shaking and all this stuff, right? And you see that a lot in churches, you know, and that turns people off a lot. So when I tell people sometimes, like, hey, come to church, and they hear that it's Pentecostal, it's like, you know, that can turn somebody off right away. And people look at me and they're like, how are you Christian, bro? Like, what? I'm like, I'm not perfect, but I'm trying to live a better life. I'm trying to, you know.
Yeah, no, it's could you repeat the question one more time?
I know, I kind of went off, started talking about Kundalini spirits.
No, sorry. What was the question one more time?
No, just in the sense of, like, how do you approach, like, that negative image or, like, the back home mentality, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And of being able to go to church and being in that religion aspect.
Yeah, so again, like I said, I'm still new to this, right? Again, He's always been there, right? I think I could say that I would be close to Him with my mouth, right? Because I would say, you know, God bless, or like here and there, right? But I would be far away from Him in my heart.
You could just say it just to say it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because again, you're used to, you know what I mean? Like one thing that my parents would always say, gracias a Dios, gracias a Dios. And again, it's not a bad thing, you know what I mean? It's a good habit to have.
Yeah.
But sometimes when things are repeated so many times and there's no depth in, like, you know what I mean? There's
having actual intentions.
Exactly, you know what I mean? So again, like even me changing the way that I think and getting closer to God, I've been laughed at.
Yeah.
Right? By people that I don't think, or I didn't think were going to laugh at me. You know what I mean? I've been called a faggot. You know what I mean? When I tell them, hey, I'm getting closer to God, like, or I tell them, hey, I don't want to drink. I don't want that shot. Or like, I don't care to mess around anymore. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, I can't judge them because I was there at one point.
Yeah. And
this is why, like, with my friends that, you know, we talk about like the deeper things or whatever, or they're going through things that I've gone through or whatever. And I tell them things. I'm like, guys, listen, I'm not telling you this because I'm better than you, because I'm not. And I'm not telling you this to judge you. I'm telling you this because I was where you were at, right? It doesn't matter what your vice is. It doesn't matter what you're going through in terms of life or depression and all that stuff. I've been in whatever situation you've been in the exact same way, but just in different ways.
Yeah.
You know, like with me getting closer to God, it's way more difficult on me because it's like before when I would go through headaches and sorry to repeat every single episode, but when I would go through things, stress or whatever it is, I would have escapes, whether it be the music, whether it be women, whether it be alcohol, whether it be whatever, you know. And it's now that I don't run, you know what I mean, and I sit in it. Not only do I sit in it, but I'm not like I sit in it with him beside me, and I you know what I mean, and I tell him what I'm going through and whatever, you know, and it's I can't judge anyone that doesn't agree with what I'm doing or what I feel or what I say. I can't judge you because again, it's if you're judging me, it's clearly you're not feeling what I'm feeling, right? You haven't had that connection or that moment that I've had, where he's shown up every single time, even from when I was younger, and I didn't realize it. Like the amount of times that I would drink and drive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like this happens to all of us, besides whether we drink or not. But how many times have you been driving and we're like, did I just pass a red light?
You just zone out, yeah.
Did I just pass a red light? And I've seen it where like people have just literally driven and just vroom, and they're perfectly fine. So it's like, again, just giving an example, but like he has shown to me multiple times that he's there, right? And like when I've asked him for guidance or whatever or anything like that, you know, he shows up. You know, and sometimes it feels like he doesn't. Sometimes it feels like he doesn't listen, or he doesn't understand us, or whatever. You know, and it's like, no, man. Like, I can't judge you because you're not experienced what I've experienced. You know, but I'm gonna tell you what I've gone through, just because I think it's my job to plant that little seed. You know what I mean? Like, this is the first time we're talking about God like this on my whole episode, on this whole podcast journey. You know what I mean? And this and death. Like, I couldn't have these conversations back then. I wasn't there. Yeah. Right. Like he was there with me, but I wasn't there with him. If that makes sense. But
and I think you touched on something so important, that he's always there, no matter what. He is always there in every aspects of your life, in certain moments, and even as like certain decisions that you're making without you even realizing. He is there. Right? Like we say it all the time, like vaya con cuidado, vaya con Dios, vaya, like, you know what I mean? Gracias a Dios, all this stuff. But until you actually put intentions and actual meaning and actually have depth towards it and actually like believe it, you know what I mean? Like you really have to believe that he is there and he's standing by you. And same thing, like how many times are we driving and there's so many crazies out on the road and they're swerving and this and that, and you know, you could be distracted for a split second, but then that split second you're paying attention to what's happening and you're able to prevent an accident. Right? I always say things happen for a reason, and it's not for any reason. There's a proper reason as to why that's happening. And I till now I stand by that saying. Things happen for a reason. No, like it's again perfect. Something else that again I believe is thanks to him, and I've said it to some friends too. Like this change in me, I owe it all to him, because again I was having trouble doing it on my own, and I thought I knew everything. You know what I mean? But it's like getting closer to him and just leaving it in his hands has been amazing. And like again, one thing that I've never done before, and for some people it's not normal or might or whatever or whatnot. I prayed with my whole family the day when I finished my fast, which was the day that I did the show with Nico. Oh, okay, yeah. And I said it there, you know what I mean? And like, again, it's a baby. It's the little things, you know what I mean? And like praying, and obviously my brother wasn't there because he was at home with his wife and everything. But being there and praying with my mom and my dad and my sister there and my niece. You know what I mean? I've never done that before, right? But it's like I couldn't have done that back then because I wasn't there. And I think that even if I tried doing it back then, it wouldn't mean as much as it is now, because now I'm living it, right? Would you say, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but would you say it's in a way of like accepting it? Of course. Like opening up in like your heart, your soul, everything else, and welcoming him in? Because I think that's like so important. And I mean, you touched on it too. It's not just like one person walking this walk of life. It's everybody coming in together, because everyone who you're aligning with, everybody that you're surrounding yourself with within your community, right? They all have that one belief and that one purpose of being, right? And that's part of it. So kudos to you, man. I respect it, and I love you for that. I love you anyways, but I love you even more. It's a beautiful experience. And I hope everyone gets to experience it. And you can. You just have to trust him, man. Trust him, because he's always watching and listening and answering prayers. But let's quickly. What time is it now? We've been on for an hour and 20 minutes. Damn, we're gonna have to definitely do a part 2. We still got time. We're good. No kidding. But go ahead. Mariah. Can we read? There was actually a pretty good question that I saw in here in the chat. Shout out to Jesse.
What is the most annoying thing TV shows always get wrong about what a paralegal actually does? I mean, I know the TV shows are mainly focused on lawyers and stuff, and paralegals don't usually get that much shine. But have you seen any shows?
I mean, like Suits is one of them. I think that's one of the big ones that come out is Suits. When you think of
Meghan Markle's
Rachel, Meghan Markle, she was a paralegal. Again, it's so very different because here in Ontario, we're the only province that's actually regulating paralegals, right? Every other province and even down in the States, the paralegals are just, I don't want to say like law clerks, but that's ultimately what you're doing, right? Like in one capacity or the other, you're assisting the lawyers with, or the attorneys, vice versa, with being able to draft documents and do all of that. But yeah, I always joke and say like, oh, it's like the itch job of the lawyers, right? And I mean, even my business partner, he always, not to say that he always looked down at paralegals, but he never really understood the depth of what a paralegal has and the knowledge of what they come with until he literally hired me on, right? So I became a student first. From a student, I became fully employed, and then I did my licensing exam. But like he would tell you, like I never knew how good a paralegal is or how beneficial a paralegal is to be able to have on their roster until you actually have one. And like now he's even telling some of his colleagues as well, like you guys need a paralegal. Like we're at the same threshold with regards to, again, the rules for professionalism, responsibility, and not being able to disclose certain things. I mean, you can't regardless, right? But as a licensed paralegal, you're bound a lot more stricter just as lawyers are. But to go back on like what paralegals do, I mean, I don't know. I feel like they do touch on that. I mean, we're not just answering telephone calls. That's definitely not it. Like we're definitely helping and assisting lawyers. But again, it depends on where you go. Like here in Ontario, we're actually regulated, right? So I have my own files. I have my own clients where I can actually attend court on. Even some criminal files, like some criminal law, paralegals can attend to. But yeah, I don't know. That's actually a really good question.
Have you ever been summoned for jury duty?
I did actually. And I was so excited until I realized that if you're some sort of law student, you actually can't go to jury duty.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I didn't respond, and I was like, I hope I don't get a bench for it because I didn't respond and I didn't attend. But yeah, no, because you're not keeping that biasness, right? And if you're on jury duty, you got to be able to be biased with the facts that are coming in hand. And if you have some legal background, then you obviously are not just being biased to the facts, you're also being biased to the law, and you're trying to kind of coordinate all of that.
Interesting. So you're saying people in your field, lawyers, not allowed to participate in jury duty. Yeah. I did not know that. Never imagined that would be a restriction.
Learn something new today.
Yeah, you learn something new every day. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I know, isn't that cool? I was like filling out the form, and I was like, yay! And there's like, if you're a student at law or paralegal student, I was like, oh man. I was so excited. You're guilty. No, I'm kidding.
So we're gonna start wrapping it up slowly, but
yeah.
What's one thing you want to be able to, I guess, work on this year professionally, and one thing you want to work on with yourself internally?
Yeah, so professionally, I mean, I actually did this with a couple of my girls at Latina Leaders.
Shout out to them.
Shout out to them. They've actually been so dope. Last year, I started really coming out of my shell as a professional and as a business owner. Working from home, there really isn't a lot of office interactions or just really one-on-one client interaction, especially since COVID. Since the pandemic, everything's essentially gone virtual. So even attending courts and actually being present in courthouses and kind of getting clients from there as well, because that was also a good database for clientele and prospects. But really getting out there and being at events like Latina Leaders, like I have one coming up on March 8th that I'm actually attending as a community sponsor with International Women's Day. Nice. Right? So getting exposed to that and really divulging into not just the community, but the Latino community as well, because I find that there's a lot of Latinos that don't know a lot of Latino speaking or Spanish speaking people in the legal industry, right? So I get like every day they're like, oh my god, like hablas español, no sabía, yo puedo aceptar con esto. And like I grew up as like a no sabe nada kid, right? Like I was just getting up from through to through, and really up until I got into the school industry, into like the education system, because when we did that swap, they were like, you need to stop speaking to your child in Spanish because she's talking with a lisp. And I ended up going to speech speech therapist to be able to help me with that. So I completely lost it. Didn't help that in the main area that I was growing up with in the prime years, I was only the only Latina in the class, right? Maybe there was one other kid or maybe two other kids, but like even them, they weren't necessarily speaking Spanish at home. And it wasn't until I actually met with my in-laws that I was like, okay, I really need to divulge into Spanish and be able to speak freely and have that professionalism communication, right? Because it's completely different of being like, hola, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo está tu día? ¿Cómo está el clima? Da, da, da. Right? But actually putting it into that professional lingo is completely different. So on the professional side is exposing myself to a lot of the people in the Latino community and exposing myself to people who only speak Spanish, because then that forces me to be able to speak Spanish. And I cater to some like Spanish speaking clients as well that they only speak Spanish, right? So I got to translate between them, my business partner, and everything else. So that's been helping me. But I think what's really more important is being able to get out there and go to events and just really put my face out there, right? Because it's one thing to like be posting on Instagram and like putting my stories up, but like I'm in the bathroom or like, you know, getting ready or just talking at my desk. It's completely different as opposed to really getting out there and actually meeting people. So I think that goes hand in hand with regards to growing past my comfort zone, right? And growing professionally, because again, you're not running a business if you don't have a community around you, right? So
that's right.
We work with a lot. We actually work with an immigration consultant. I have the real estate component coming up now that we're opening up back at our firm. Dealing with people who deal with areas of law that we don't necessarily deal with, right? So having that kind of roster of professionals that I've been able to communicate with and continue communicating with and networking, that's been my biggest thing. And I started that last year, and I'm glad to really start seeing it come more into fruition this year and really putting myself out there. Like this week, obviously, I've got you guys with the podcast, which again, thank you guys so much for having me. But I have you guys on Thursday. I have a networking event downtown with a bunch of lawyers and people in the real estate department. And then again, so many events coming up on March 8th and then on February 21st. So just really getting out there and prioritizing just being able to grow professionally in that aspect. And then personally, focusing on me time. Because I always like when I think about me time, I'm like, yeah, like me time with the family. And it's like, no. You also need time of just yourself, right? Like, what does Shayla need to do? Like, you guys ask me, like, well, what do you like to do in your free time? I like to stay home. Like, just put me in my bed, let me watch my movies, and that's it. But I definitely need to be able to explore a little bit more. And I personally don't like the winter at all. I know that was one of the speed questions that you asked me. So I thrive in the summer. Like in the summer, I'm never home. Like you'll catch me at Wonderland. You'll catch me at the festivals. You'll catch me here. You'll catch me there. The pools. The winter, I'm hibernating, man. I got to be able to get out like that in the winter. But yeah, I think those are the main two things, both professionally and personally.
All right. That's awesome. So Mary, I don't know if you want to add something to that before we wrap it up.
It's just you mentioned something that a lot of people don't understand. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, whether it's entertainment, whether it's like, you know, in the legal business, you got to go out there and network people. Yeah. Like you got to go out there. If you don't go out there, people are not going to know who you are, you know? And like you said, you can't just put all of your chips in social media on Instagram and expect that business is going to come to you. It doesn't work like that. Even as DJs, right? Like you can't just expect that gigs are going to come to you because you're on social media or you put a mix up or something. Like you got to go out there to events where people are DJing, you know, go to parties, not necessarily parties, but there's also mixers that you can go to where you can meet other business people that are there as guests and, you know, talk about what you do as well. You're not taking anything from anybody else, but you're putting yourself out there, and it's very important. Otherwise, nobody's going to know how you're not going to eat.
No,
matter what the business is.
Yeah. And again, it's bringing it back to God. Faith without work is dead. You know, we can't be praying to Him and saying thank you for all these blessings, and you know, help me here, help me there, and not do the work. We've all gone through it, you know. And sometimes we go sometimes we have to go through this a couple of times. Something that's happening with me too. You know, it's. I always ask Him to help me out and give me strength and this and that. But if I stay home all day and I don't get up and go, nothing's going to happen. You know, you have to move. You have to keep doing things. So with that being said, again, to everyone that's in the chat, everyone that's been asking questions and engaging, thank you guys so much. Shayla, before we wrap it up, just if you don't mind, let everybody know the name of the law firm and everything that you guys are doing and where they could follow you and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so my law firm is Four Lights Advocacy LLP. So it's literally the number 4 spelled out, Advocacy LLP. We are located in Vaughan. We are opening up in Mississauga, so don't feel like jurisdiction is an issue. You can either email me at shayla@fourlights.ca, or you can follow me on Instagram. And I think Jona has my thing right there. I'm struggling. Up. Oh, there you are. There you go. Right there. La Vida de Shayla. I do have a little bit of a mix in there, personal, professional. I like for everybody to be able to see, because I always get told, actually, just a little tangent here, separate like your professional with your personal. And I feel like when you get into that professional aspect, a lot of people forget that we're still humans.
Yep.
Right. So, if I'm not picking up my phone at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, it's not because I don't want to answer your calls. It's just because I'm obviously having family time. So I find that that's a little good nitpick, like a little thing to have. Mm-hmm. So you see a little bit of there. You see me flaunting off my little partner as well. Not my little partner, but my partner and my familia. So yeah, you can follow me there. If you want to call for any consultations or anything, it's 905-605 5100.
Let's try that one more time. Ready? And 3, 2, 1, action.
905-605-5100. Call for your free consultation.
This is the beautiful thing about doing live. We mess up, but we have to readjust. You guys just don't see all the mess ups.
It's okay.
Again, before the show was starting, just to be transparent, I was going crazy again because I'm like, why isn't this working? And then the OBS, the program that I use to stream, stopped responding. So again, it happens when it's live and stuff. But again, Mario, if you want to just say your goodbyes, let people know where they could follow you as well.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Honestly, it was really great being able to pick your brain about some of these topics, especially that y'all can't do jury duty. I mean, not that it's something everybody wants to do, right? But some people actually do look forward to it, right?
Yeah.
But that was very interesting. Thank you for that. And you can find me on Instagram, DJ Revelations. You can find me on YouTube, Revelations TV. Do reaction videos. I actually just dropped a reaction video for a song Tres Copas by 44 Ron out of New Jersey. So shout out to you. Very, very, very good song.
He's also Ecuadorian.
Right? So it was a very good song. And yeah, just if you would like any reviews done for your music or anything, please hit me up at djrevelations@gmail.com.
Tuti.
Perfect. Hi Tuti. Thank you for being here.
Thank you guys so much.
But anyways, so just to wrap it up again, thank you guys for tuning in. It's been an awesome time. Obviously, when we're having fun, time flies. And it was a very interesting conversation. I learned a lot. Obviously, we're definitely going to have a part 2 because there's so much more that we could talk about.
There's so many questions in the chat that I'm just realizing. I'm like, damn, we didn't even get through half of them.
I know. There's
Sorry,
a couple.
guys.
But Shayla, I just want to give you your flowers. Continue doing what you're doing. Don't stop making adjustments. It's not going to get easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's we have to find the balance. We have to be honest with ourselves. And, sometimes life comes and it hits you more than you expect, and we just have to learn to adjust and not take everything personal and just leave it in his hands. And I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm happy to have you in my life, even though we don't talk too much or we don't hang a lot. Just know that, podcasts and everything aside, you can always count on me with anything. And I love you. I'm going to stop before I get emotional because for those that know me.
We're both going to cry off camera.
Can I actually interrupt? There's actually a pretty good question that I saw here, and I think it's a good closing question.
Go for it.
Ooh.
From
it's not ending.
I don't know who this person is. Munchie21. What is the memory imprint you want to leave behind on the world?
Beautiful.
That's a hard one. I did see that one briefly. That's a hard one. Just be positive. I think, like, Jona, you were just talking about it. Like, life is going to get you down. Life is going to, beat you where it hurts. But just constantly staying positive and just knowing that, again, things happen for a reason, that it's put your trust in God and leave it in God's hands and let things be. But I just want people to be happy. Like, I feel like in the last just under a year, to be honest, that everybody that I've come around, they've been like, Shayla, you're glowing again. And like, I remember back in elementary school, I had a teacher that's like, you have $1 million smile, right? And there was like so many things that were happening that your light eventually becomes dim, right? Depending on who you're surrounding, depends on the actions that you're doing, where you're associating yourself, what you're doing. I just want people to be happy. Just live your life how you want to be. Don't worry about the outside noise and focus on you. I feel like the moment you focus on yourself and what you're doing, and I tell this to all my friends all the time, because they're like, Shayla, like, what do you do? Like, how did you, become this and da-da-da. Just focus on you. Focus on you. Leave all the stress and the worries in God's hands, and just know that whatever you are doing for yourself today is going to benefit you for tomorrow and in the long run. So just be happy, be proud, and just live life, man. You got to be happy. I just feel like there's so many people, so much stress, and again, so much things that are happening in the world that so many people are so tense, and it's like, no, just got to sit back a little bit and just let things be and live your life and focus on yourself.
Amen, sister. Amen.
I try.
Again, Shayla, Mario, thank you guys for being here today.
Thank you for having us, my man.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
But anyways, once again, for everyone that watched, thank you guys for being here. This is season 2, episode 2 with Shayla Renteria, a good friend of mine. Hold on, let me go. She's blowing kisses, but she's not on the air because I switched the camera. Anyways, thank you guys again for tuning in. Thank you for just, not even just tuning in, but just commenting. Sometimes we need a little bit of crowd participation. And when you guys do this, it makes it for a more interesting show. It's not just our aspects or just picking our brains, but when you guys, include your input and everything, it makes it that much more memorable. And again, thank you guys for tuning in. We are going to go live every single Tuesday at 7 p.m. And I'm going to continue making these adjustments so that everything stops lagging and this and that until I get it ready. But again, thank you guys for tuning in. Next week, I have my good friend Jessie Losado. She's a photographer, and she's also an advocate for epilepsy. And I'm going to say this one wrong, and you guys could please help me out. Mike, you know the word already. Hold on. Let me bring this guy back in.
Go for it. I'll give you a chance. You got this.
No, I'm already messing it up. Just say it.
Endometriosis.
That one.
Oh, okay.
That one.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. So we're going to have her on the show next week, Tuesday, talking about life, photography, and all that stuff in terms of health and everything. So once again, thank you guys for tuning in. Yes, what happened? Tell me.
No, I said I can't wait. I can't wait for that one. That one seems super interesting.
Yeah, looking forward to that one too as well.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting, and she's nervous, and I'm like, don't be nervous. It's going to be fun. We're going to be fun.
Can't be more nervous than Jona. It's fine.
Yeah, you can't be more nervous than me because, I'm still nervous. I need to go home and eat. I'm starving. But again, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Wow, that just came out. That just flew. Anyways, thank you guys again, and we'll see you guys next week. Be good, and if you're not, give me a call. And this next song, by the way, my co-host over here produced it and everything, so we'll talk more about the talents that this guy has. But we'll let you go with this song, and we'll see you guys next week. All right, take care. Ciao.
All right, take care,
Bye.
everybody.